Hi, I'm Sandy Petersen, and we're going to learn the basics of playing Hyperspace. This is the test pilot version of the game, which we printed and sent out in October. Thanks to the feedback from our many testers, we have upgraded a number of the components to make them more useful. The rules are still mostly the same. This is the 4-player version of the game. Here are the the unexplored tiles. Underneath each one of these is going to be a planet. So for example, it looks like this when it's unexplored, but when you explore it, hey presto, there's a world full of resources to exploit. These 4 areas have the planet already revealed because this is the home world of the aliens. Everyone knows where those are. So let's do the setup real quick. Here we have the Venge. You get 1 colony on each continent in your home world. The Venge has 2 continents. And the colonies, you can see I've put these little discs in. That's the production of that colony, and it matches what's printed on the continent. That way, if you're trying to see what your production is at a glance, you can just look at the discs sticking out of your colonies and just tot it up. On your Civ sheet, there's tracks showing what your atomic and metal production are. The Venge start with 3 atomic and 1 metal production, because that's what's printed on their planet. You also get, at the start, 1 citizen on one of the continents. I'm going to put it on the 2 atomic continent because I like that one more. You get 1 starbase. There's only ever 1 starbase in the system. And you get a starting fleet of some sort, usually a single ship. For the Venge, they start with 1 destroyer. The other civs are set up. You also have some starting resources. This is your Civ card. It controls information about your civilization. On the left side of the card are the units you can produce: spaceships, colonies, star bases, and so forth. On the right-hand side is your storage. This is where you keep resources and things that you have in play that aren't actually in action yet. The game works by doing actions. You will take 3 actions on your turn, and you'll flip over your key action markers as you do it. When your 3 key action markers are flipped over, it'll go to the next person's turn. He'll take his 3 key actions and so forth. Now there's 2 types of actions. There's key actions and there's extra actions. An extra action doesn't require you to flip over a key action marker, which means you can take as many of those as you want. It doesn't mean they're free. They could cost resources to take. They just don't count against your action limit. There's a number of different actions in the game, and we're going to go over all of them. Some of these will advance you along the civilization progression board. That's where you earn your victory points and other rewards, and ultimately how you end the game and calculate a winner. So we will talk about the move action first. In general, actions cost atomics or nothing. The build action costs metal. Almost all your things cost metal. That's what they're for. The organic tokens are a wild card. You can spend them either as atomics or metal. So they're simply better than the other types of resources, but you don't get them as often, and they're not renewable, and they don't, you can't ever mine them out of a planet with your stuff. So let's talk about the move action. To do a move action, you pay 1 or 2 atomics. You pay 1 atomic if you're moving ships from a tile into an adjacent system that is already explored. If it's not explored, you pay 2 atomics and you flip over the system. So for example, for the first action of the Venge here, they're going to pay 2 atomics. They're gone now. They're going to move this destroyer into this area, and lo and behold, they have revealed Tau Boatus with a little 1-continent planet that has a metal and atomic. That was their first key action. And now they've explored it. When you explore a new area, you advance your civilization on the probe track as well. So they go up to the first step on the probe track, and that earns them, as it says printed there, a hyper token. So now they have 2 hyper tokens. You can move as many units as you want in the air. Ships, other units don't move, only ships can move. As many ships as you want. They all have to go to the same destination. And it only costs 1 atomic regardless. Or 2 if it's an unexplored destination. So for example, if I had 2 ships here, I could pay, and it was this configuration where this was visible, I could pay 1 atomic and move both ships there, or I could pay 1 atomic and just move 1 and leave 1 behind. If you are moving to a system that has your starbase in it, then of course it only costs 1 atomic because it's already explored, because you have a starbase there, but also it's not a key action, it's an extra action, so you can do it in addition to other actions. So Let me give you an example. Let's say that I wanted to amass some forces. I could spend, let's start like this. I could spend 1 atomic and move this ship here. That's an extra action, not a key action. Now I could spend 2 atomics and move both these ships, now they've grouped together here, and explore this. And have just spent 1 action, though 3 atomics. That's the move action. It's how you get your ships around. Citizens, colonies, and star bases under normal circumstances never move. When you build a citizen, it stays in its colony forever, well, until it's killed. Or you self-destruct it. Let us talk about the build action. It's different for different types of units. If you want to build a colony, you pay for the colony, and you can build it on any exposed continent on the map, whether or not you have a ship there. For example, if it was Black's turn, the Broodmaster, he could pay 1 metal and put a colony there. Doesn't need a ship there, it just goes there. This means, among other things, it's quite common to share planets. For example, if I moved there, I might put a colony in one of the areas, then Yellow on his turn might put a colony in one of the areas, then Black on his turn could put a colony there. This is a big planet, it has 3 continents. And now we're all there sharing the planet, though uneasily. That's how you build a colony. You can't build a colony where there already is a colony, of course. Now, to build a citizen, you simply have to have a colony in the area. Citizens are normally free, but it does take a key action to build one. It just doesn't cost you anything. So you put a citizen anywhere you have a colony, I'll put one here. Citizens add production during the production phase, and they are able to fight and help defend your system. The colony has a defense, but it can't attack. Okay, let's talk about a build a starbase, the third non-ship. You pay 1 metal, you have to have a colony in the area, and there cannot already be a starbase. So if I paid 1 metal, I could build a starbase here. See, I have a colony. Now, no one else can build a starbase there. If they want a starbase there, they'll have to move in there with other units or build up a bunch of citizens, destroy my starbase, and then build their own. Ships. When you build ships are the one unit that you can build more than one of at a time. To build a ship, you pay up to 4 metal, and you build as many ships as you want, up to 4 metal worth on your starbases. So we have the tiny corvettes, which are the weakest ships, which cost 1 metal. We have the destroyers, which are a little bigger and more tough. They cost 2 metal. We have the cruisers, which are the strongest regular ship. They're 3 metal. And we have the super ships, which are different for every civilization. For the Venge, it's the hate ship. So if he wanted to build a hate, they cost 4 metal. If the Venge wanted to build a hate ship, they could. That would be 4 metal. That would use up their building capacity for that action. Or alternatively, they could build a corvette. Sorry, that's a cruiser and a corvette, which would also add up to 4 metal. So ships you can build 4 metal of in any combination. But the super ships already cost 4, so that kind of uses it up. Let us discuss the battle action. Let's get a couple of Broodmaster cruisers in here. I'm not sure how they got there because there's no way there. But so we'll flip this over to pretend they sailed through that, so it looks like a real game. So to declare battle, you always pay 1 atomic, and then you roll the battle dice. Now in this battle, you can declare battle on other people. Let's put the fungi here, for example. If the Broodmasters were to attack, they could choose to attack the fungi or the Venge. Let's say they want to attack the Venge. In that case, the fungi are idle bystanders. They just watch. If they attack the fungi, then the fungi would be the idle bystander. Then the Venge would be the idle bystanders. So we're going to attack, in this case, the Venge. So the Venge every unit has an attack and a defense. And it's a type of a die. So for the Venge, they have their starbase, their colony, which has 0. Their citizen rolls a d6. Their starbase rolls a d6. This corvette rolls a d6. Their destroyer rolls a d8. And their cruiser rolls a 10-sided dice. The Broodmasters, who have 2 cruisers, roll 2 10-sided dice. So we'll roll the dice and get our results. All the damage is simultaneous, but you can roll it and take in turns if you want. Now, after you roll the damage, the person who rolled the damage picks who's getting killed. And what you do is you compare your damage total against the defense of the unit you want to kill. Every unit has a defense. Usually it's equal to the max possible die roll. So for example, a cruiser that rolls a 10-sided dice for its attack has a 10 defense. So the Broodmasters rolled a 15 for their total damage. Let's see what we can do to the Venge with that. Well, when you do damage equal to a unit's defense, it's destroyed and taken off the map. Then you take your remaining damage, apply it to another unit, and you keep going until you run out of points. So they're going to put 6 points on the starbase and destroy it. They now have 9 points left. With their 9 points, they're going to put 6 points or 8 points on the destroyer and destroy that. Now they have 1 point left. Now, if you don't do the full damage to a unit, it's damaged but not destroyed. So they're going to take their 1 extra point and put it on the cruiser. Well, the cruiser has 10 health, so to speak, 10 defense, so 1 point won't destroy it, but what it does is it damages it and it goes here to dry dock in the storage area instead of being destroyed. Now, they hit back for 19 points of damage. Well, with 10 of it, they can kill this cruiser easy. Then they have 9 left. Not quite enough to kill this cruiser because it's worth 10. So this cruiser also goes into dry dock. And now this is the remaining situation. The Venge has been weakened quite a bit, but they're still there. After you do a battle that you declare, if you destroy an enemy unit or remove it, even just by damaging it, you get to advance on the battle track. In this case, the Broodmasters advance on the battle track, so they're going to get a secret, and we'll go into secrets in a little bit. The defender never advances on the battle track, no matter how well he rolls. Only the attacker. So you can go in with a small unit, destroy one thing, be totally wiped out, you advance on the battle track, you destroy the unit. Okay, we will now discuss the research action. On the right-hand side of your Civ sheet, there's 4 slots for researches. 2 of them are your super techs. They're on the top. Those are unique technologies that only your civilization has. The others are for regular techs, common techs. Everyone has a pool of 4 of these, and you can pick any one of them to research, and other civilizations might have the same common techs, but they won't have the same supers. If you look, most of the civilizations have costs, and the cost is typically pay 1 atomic or 2 atomics and pick another civilization to get an organic. So we're going to have the Venge research disintegrators, because they want that, because they're pretty sad about the battle they just had. So they're going to disintegrators, and it's a common tech. They're going to pay 1 atomic, and they don't have any atomics left here because they used 2 atomics before. So they'll pay an organic instead, because that's a wild card. So they pay that. Now they pick another civilization to get an organic. And they would get an organic even if the Venge had actually paid an atomic. And they're going to pick the Broodmasters to get the organic because they just had a battle with the Broodmasters and maybe they're feeling sorry for them. Or maybe not. Now they have that technology. And because they researched, they advance on the research track. Now in this case, it gives them a victory point. So they'll advance on the victory point track, which is one of the main goals of the game. You have the probe track, which you advance when you explore a new system. You have the research track, which you advance on when you research anything. And you have the battle track when you attack and you remove an enemy unit. The probe and the research track will eventually top off in the 4th slot. They won't go any further. In fact, sometimes you can't even get to the 4th slot, especially on probe. The battle track goes to the 3rd slot, and you can then repeat it. You can repeatedly get bonuses from battle. You get 1 hyper token when you're in the last box of the battle track, plus you get a victory point for every 8 defense points of full defense points of enemy that you removed. So for example, if you'd removed a cruiser, that's worth 10 defense points, that would give you 1 victory point. If you'd removed 16 or more, you get 2 victory points, and it caps at 2 victory points. These 3 tracks are how you earn the victory points. You're trying to get to 15. That's when the game ends. We'll talk about that in just a second. Other actions you can do. There's the salvage action, which you can use to fix damaged ships and put them back on the map, and to pick up organics that are on the map. There is the produce action, which is how you get more resources. You simply produce atomics or metal, whichever you pick. You can pick either one of them and get that production value. Plus, each citizen makes you an organic at that time. And then you have more money in your pool to buy things with. There's the self-destruct action, which you can use to remove an unwanted unit, your own, not an enemy's, or technology you don't want anymore because you want to free up a slot for something else. And these are all the actions you take. There's no upkeep phase or interim phase or bookkeeping phase. You just keep taking these 3 key actions around and around and around until someone gets to 15 victory points. At that point, that player can choose to end the game on his turn. He doesn't have to, but he can. If he does, we then calculate our points for the end of the game. Well, first we get the victory points already on the map. And second, we get what we call the industry points. This is equal to 1 point for every planet you have a colony on, and 1 point for every planet you have a starbase at. So if the game ended right now, the Venge have 2 planets with colonies and 1 starbase, that would give them 3 industry points. Usually the industry points are from 5 to 12, so they're pretty major, but given that there's only 15 victory points you got to end the game, so they're like almost half your points. Then you also get points for your secrets. Now secrets are a card that you get from doing various actions. Sometimes other things give them special abilities, and you don't hold the secrets. You always immediately read off what the secret does. And then there is a secret on it, which is a hyper token or a victory point that you get at the very end of the game. So you keep your secret face down. So for example, if the Avenge got the Sub Rosa secret, this one says you gain 4 organics. Each opponent also gains organics, but each gains a different amount, counting down from 3 towards 0. You choose who gets what. So they can say, well, I get 4 organics. I want the Fungi to get 3, the Skith to get 2, and the Brood to get 1. And then you put it here. No one knows what the victory points are, but at the end of the game, you reveal it for 1 victory point. And in case you're wondering, well, I can just memorize the cards. Well, you can memorize the cards, but there's 2 of each secret which have different victory point values. So you won't know whether you got the 1 victory point Sub Rosa or the 1 hyper token Sub Rosa. Hyper tokens are objects you can spend during the game to get benefits. You can get victory points with them, you can buy resources, you can even buy secrets. They're just something you can do throughout the game. Every civilization has a unique bonus ability that makes it really cool. Every civilization has a weakness that hurts it that you have to work around or use or blend in with your way of playing. Every civilization has what we call the victory ability, which is some special way of boosting and making it better during play. And every civilization has its 2 unique super techs that are different for every civ, and their unique super unit, which is always quite different. The Avenge Hate Ship, for example, if it's damaged or destroyed in combat, it gets a final vengeance attack, which makes it risky to target. The Fungus super unit is the Rat Bat Spider, which isn't actually a ship. It's a citizen, so it goes on planets, but it's a super citizen, so it's really powerful. So the civs play differently, they act differently, the gameplay keeps moving around at a speedy pace because you're all just taking your actions and waiting to get to your turn. You take your 3 key actions, it gets back there. You never have quite enough time to do everything, which is, I think, part of a fun game. And that is Hyperspace in a nutshell. Look for it soon on Kickstarter.